Hello everyone, welcome back to the IndieGeekGuy channel, and today we're looking at some 1970s sci-fi in Logan's Run. So this is another movie that I've owned for a long time. I think I've moved at least, maybe even twice since buying this, and I just never watched it. The reason I bought it and wanted to watch it for all this time is that it's some 70s sci-fi predating Star Wars, so before, Star Wars changed the face of what science fiction was to a lot of people. We're sort of in that weird bracket of like the 60s sci-fi crossing over to the 70s, that kind of dystopian vibe of science fiction before Star Wars made everything, oh, there could be hope at the end of the story. So we're sort of dealing with that, and that's kind of what piqued my interest about it. On top of being a fan of sort of dystopia, I'm also a fan of just the look of 70s science fiction. But other than that, I really don't know anything about Logan's Run other than it's based on a book, I believe. I don't really know what the story is other than there's a man called Logan running. that's really it. But yeah, I'm going into this as blind as can be. It's one of those ones where, you know what, I'm doing this for the channel. I'm just not even going to read the back of the box to see any kind of clues. I'm just going to jump in, see what happens. Maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll gel with me, maybe it won't, who knows. I know it's a bit of a classic as far as I'm aware. I don't think I've even seen any clips from this. I think I've seen some stills and the like of that nature, and I think I've seen some people talk about it, but yeah, I don't think I've actually ever seen a full scene from this movie at all. So likelihood is I'm going to find something here that is going to pique my interest, even if it's just the sort of aesthetic nature of it. Even if the story doesn't hook me, I'm sure because of the decade in which it was made and the genre, there will probably be things in there that I will enjoy, that will stimulate my brain in some way. So yeah, I'm excited to jump in. But before we do, please remember to hit the thumbs up button if you do enjoy the video. It helps me know you liked it, helps it get seen by more people. Consider subscribing as well so you don't miss any future content, including more movie reactions, TV reactions, any other content I end up throwing up on this channel. It's all good stuff, I promise you. There is also a Discord server, which there is a link down in the description or over here or wherever it is now on YouTube. There's a link to go to that Discord server. That's for you guys to hang out, talk about movies, talk about TV shows, all that good stuff. And, I'll pop in there as well when I can. But that's there for you guys as well, so please do check that out as well. Other than that, we're going to jump into Logan's Run and see what it's all about. Let's do it. There's just one catch. Life must end at 30 unless reborn in the fiery ritual of Carousel? I think I read that right. So everyone dies at 30. Looks like I'm on the clock, boys. It's not too far out for me. I love a good model shot. And this is great. Look at this. So colourful. Oh, this is tickling all my senses. A model shot, weird electronic music. Inject it into me.
Wake up. What does it matter? Anyway, it isn't yours anymore.
I assume that is Logan's child, and this society takes the kids away from the parents?
One is terminated, one is born. Simple, logical, perfect. You have a better system?
Let people grow up and, not murder people. That might be a system. This is disturbing. All these people are just turning up with, glee and excitement to watch basically a mass execution, I'm assuming. Woohoo! Kill the old people that are 30.
This is the time of renewal.
Time of renewal, huh? That would be the enticing lie that they've told them, right? They've come as Jason Voorhees.
Rise.
I can't get a beat on this. Some people seem concerned about the masks. Some people are like, yay, masks! Oh. They're flying. I mean, that doesn't look good. Whatever is happening to them doesn't look like a good thing. Oh. What's Logan got? Runner, Great Hall. Hey, I've got to give it this. There aren't many movies that start with mass death. It's pretty dark.
Run, runner!
They're just fucking with him. They're literally just fucking with him. Ooh. I like the gun muzzle effect. That's cool. These two are nuts. These two are crazy. You're gonna have to do something to get me on Logan's side, because they're going full Joker right now. They're taking so much glee in this, it's ridiculous. Okay. I mean, it definitely looked like they were just fucking with him. Like they were just playing with their food, essentially. Nice. So I'm gonna... Okay, it just disappears. I was gonna say someone's gonna scrub that up. Good effect, though. Kind of gross, but it's a good effect. What the hell is going on? What is this?
A friend of mine went on carousel. Now he's gone.
I'm sure he was renewed.
He was killed, like the others.
Killed? Why do you use that word?
I mean, that's clearly what happened. They exploded.
You're beautiful. Let's have sex.
No.
Why are you wasting my time? Why don't you put yourself
What
to
the
sex?
hell is going on? This is so strange. So was that, like, Hypno TV thing replicating teleporting device just like a prostitute machine? Like, what? What is this whole situation?
If you're one of the misfits, that's where I come in.
I didn't say that I would run.
One of those weirdos who wants to be 31 years old. Bloody freaks. What is this now? We're just having a smoke bomb party? What is going on?
Do you identify this word, sanctuary? The object and the word both relate to runners who have not been accounted for.
1,056 unaccounted for?
The number is correct.
Okay. There's a lot of people who got away somehow.
Question. Nobody reached renewal? You mean nobody's ever been renewed?
The question has been answered.
It's probably not the best thing to tell, essentially, your servants that that is the case. It's probably not a good thing to reveal that truth.
You will find sanctuary and destroy.
Well, how can I pretend that I'm approaching last day?
Identify.
Oh, God. You're in the shit now, boy. So they want him to be like a double agent to go and find this sanctuary where all these runners have escaped to. And in order to do that, they're making him a runner. I feel like shit's gonna hit the fan for this man. Still wondering whether this is gonna be a big robot machine thing running the show, or if there's like a secret society behind all this. Either way, Logan is fucked.
Why show me?
Because I'm gonna run.
Why tell me?
You know something.
Man, he's so good at this double agent shit.
About dying? What?
Trust me, I'm gonna run, and it's all for the greater good of all the runners. That's why I'm doing it. Trust me. I mean, I'm sure he's going to convert to the runner's side. That's where the story's probably going. But as of right now, why would she trust him?
I never heard of a sandman running, ever.
And I never heard of sanctuary.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good move on her part. Like, why would she trust him? There's literally no reason to. He made her appear in a weird Hypno TV and was like, let's go have sex. And now he's like, I'm running, trust me. I'm not doing this for any different reason than you might expect.
Are the cubs really as wild as they say?
You've never been there, have you? They're the violent ones. There's no place else for them unless they change.
I'm curious about this cathedral area. It seems to be where most of the shit goes down. Maybe turn around, Logan. I don't think you can take them all.
All right, children. Playtime's over.
Some feral teenagers, that's all you need. So that would explain why they're called cubs, if they're like all teenagers. Again, not entirely sure why they're here. But I assume, I'm still going off the assumption that they're placed here because they're considered bad stock or whatever.
Should be green.
Did you hear me? Green.
Now, don't
Let
be
me
afraid.
go.
I am not
Let me
going to
go.
hurt you. I am not going to hurt you. We want to help you.
Okay, that's his play. This is a way for him to get some trust, I suppose, so we'll see how it goes. Ah, oh god, well, here's where the shit hits the fan.
If they do find you, throw this hard enough to break it. But remember, don't breathe until you get away.
Runner.
Throw the pod, throw the pod, throw it, throw it! So Sandman are basically like Blade Runners, except we're not chasing robot android people, we're chasing 30-year-olds. What's the difference, eh?
Please let me know as soon as you've made your selection. I'll let you know as soon as she's decided.
It's an interesting looking set. I like all the reflections. Dangerous when you're working with cameras, but I do like the look of it.
I recommend a more detailed study about projections.
This whole idea of like face changing is interesting. Like, obviously, the society's built on the idea of being younger. So do they like try to hide how old they are by face changing? Even though they have the clock on their hands, but they like a society thing. They don't want people to know that they're older.
Did you have anything special in mind?
Oh, yes. Holly would like dark hair.
I think we'll start by narrowing the cheekbones.
Or maybe this whole thing is just a commentary on like plastic surgery. I don't know how prevalent plastic surgery was when this was made, but maybe it was becoming a thing at the time.
Hello, yes? Yes, they are. Done.
Never trust mysterious phone calls.
The beam will cut through that uniform and just exactly through the skin beneath. Watch now.
This is getting sinister. Sinister. Oh! Oh no. Oh no. He set the machine to go insane. Oh, why would you do this? Just run into the death machine. Oh! Yeah, he's done. He's done so.
So you let a runner go. What? In Cathedral. I was there.
Well, that solves that problem for a moment, I suppose. Some of the effects are really impressive for when this was made. Like, obviously, it's straddling that line between sort of changing technologies, and obviously you've got the model shots that you'd expect from the 60s, early 70s, but then you've got all these cool sort of laser effects and stuff, which I would assume was probably pretty new for this time period. So do they have to wear... I've just clocked onto this. Do they have to, like, wear outfits that are, like, relative to their age? Because obviously everyone's in colour-coded outfits by the looks of it, so I assume that's what that's all about. What on God's earth is happening now? What is this? What the fuck is going on? We've now entered the slow-mo sex den. This is the most bizarre thing I've seen in a while. This movie in the UK is rated a 12, by the way. Obviously I can't show most of what I just saw on YouTube, but a 12? Seriously? There was a lot of boobs on screen right there. A whole lot of frontal nudity was going on.
You don't run. You kill runners. You have always killed runners.
We must help anyone who asks. We must. We're the same as they are, deciding who lives and who dies.
I mean, she brings up a good point. If you're going to try and bring down the society, you need to encourage anyone you can.
It's him! He killed Doc. He's the one. And you too, I remember. He was in a hurry. A face job.
Come on, Holly. You saw what happened. You saw what happened.
Doc and you... The other Sandman. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
What the fuck? Is Holly okay? Is Holly okay? Is someone, like, spiked her tea with memory loss drugs. What's going on here?
Yes. He was after you.
We got there in the end. That was so bizarre. I feel like that was done to build up some tension for the sake of building up some tension. And then we were like, well, actually, we needed to say this, but we want this to be filled with what's going to happen? Are they going to kill him?
I want to go to Sanctuary. Will you take me with you?
You're still a green. You're not running.
I want to be with you.
Okay, this is weird. Like, she's like falling in love with him now for some reason. Oh God, hello. Oh my God, oh, that guy's ass got lit on fire. What a stunt. Oh, here we go. Here's that industrial 70s look I was looking for.
I still have the key I took from the runner.
Alright, well they're out. They're out to go and find Sanctuary. I'm imagining we're gonna sort of see the relics of Earth's past. Oh, that's why he dropped the other one, so this guy can get through. I'm not saying that in terms of he dropped it on purpose so the other guy could get through. I'm saying that story-wise, that's why they wrote in that he dropped the other little key thing. Oh, onto that metal grating. No thank you. Oh. We're in the Fortress of Solitude now? Where are we?
Maybe we can put these around us.
Let's take our clothes off first before they freeze on us.
Yes, of course. Let's get naked together. This movie is... I don't know why, but it's weirdly sexually charged. Like, it's so odd.
Welcome, humans. I am ready for you.
The fuck is this thing?
This way.
Okay, well, they've put on their wet clothes again, so they literally just got naked for the sake of showing that girl's boobs.
Regular storage procedure. The same as the other food. And then it stopped coming. And they came instead. I'm ready. And you're ready.
Oh god. Oh god. This crazy robot. Crazy robot. Crazy robot. Just when I think the movie can't get any more bizarre, there's a crazy robot freeze-drying humans. We're out of the dome now, boys.
What is it?
Right. I shall call it Yellow Ball. Wonder what this guy's reaction to Sun's gonna be. Yeah, fuck that thing. That big old thing in the sky. I don't give a shit. I just want to kill people. He's like a vampire.
Maybe Sanctuary isn't far now.
Maybe Sanctuary is the outdoors. Did you ever think about that? Did you ever think that was what Sanctuary was? Oh, look, they're naked again.
What do you really want?
You know.
And this movie should just be called Logan's Attempt to Get Laid. Whoever wrote the screenplay was horny as fuck, is what I'm getting at here. Why are they walking in the river? It just suddenly clicked in my head. I mean, there's banks either side you could be walking from. Nope, we'll take the river route. I do have to say though, like, they're clearly filming in like some wood somewhere and using like matte paintings and stuff to match up with Washington to make it look cohesive, and it's actually doing a really good job of that. They're using like the same staircase a lot to get it across, but it works for what they're doing. Kitty cat! Who's feeding that cat? As if this movie had a cat jump scare. It actually pulled a Friday the 13th on us. Santa! This guy's just like, I'm the President of the United States. Tell me I'm not.
This is sanctuary, isn't it?
Sanctuary?
It's a confused old man. It's like, guys, Sanctuary is here. You're here, guys. Sanctuary is just getting outside. Do we need to write this down on a bit of paper for you two to get it?
Those cracks in your face, do they hurt? Can I touch them?
Oh, my.
The sexually charged nature of this movie continues. I was bordering on like a Kenneth Williams delivery.
How are you grown? Inside your mother?
Run there.
Do we need to have a conversation about the birds and the bees? Because that's where this is going.
Well, that's what you...
Where are they now?
What? Oh, they're dead. They're buried.
Yeah, we don't bury people. We just launch them up into the sky and they explode.
Said that one of these people never told a lie. I don't know which one it is.
Man, he just walked it. That was crazy look on his face. I saw the sun and it nearly killed me because I'm a vampire, man.
You are terminated, runner.
Francis, look at your palm.
This is a lie.
What do you mean it's a lie? It's right in front of you. Some people are just blind to what's right in front of them, huh? I'm sure there's meant to be some symbolism behind using the American flag and pole as a weapon. Okay, Logan, you've done it. You've done it. You've done it, Logan. Done. Now try and talk some sense into the man. Okay, he's definitely dead. He's on the way out. That flagpole got the better of him.
Logan. You renewed.
Okay. Don't know what to think about that. He, like, died with that belief of him being renewed, which I suppose Logan technically is renewed. His philosophy has completely changed over the course of the movie. But it's a bit sad that that guy died still blind. Are we going to find out how this whole society got started? That's what I want to know. Are we going to see the truth of it?
They kill people every single day. If I don't go back and try to stop that, destroy them, I can't live here.
There's a lot of guilt on his hands. There's a lot of blood on him. So he's clearly seeking some sort of redemption.
She promised you'd stay here and bury me. You did.
Come with us.
Evidence. Evidence. He is the evidence you need.
We're gonna try and get in through here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't think you can make it.
So they're just risking this? They're like, we're going to swim in. We have no idea how long underwater we're going to be. We have no idea how long we're going to have to hold our breath for. But this is our way. This is the way, apparently. Oh, right on time for another mass execution. Here we go. Jason Voorhees at it again. It is mad how so few people in the society look at that and go, maybe this is a bit more sinister than what we realise.
Live and grow old. I've seen it. She's seen it.
We've been outside. There's another world outside. We did it.
Here come the crazy sandmen. Yes, we're going to get over this manipulation and brainwashing that's gone on amongst this society by shouting at them and going, look at my hand. Maybe a better plan was needed.
You must not resist, Logan 5. Did you find sanctuary?
He's telling you the truth as far as he's aware. Like, there is no actual place called sanctuary.
Input contrary. Input contrary. Contrary. Maybe not.
The machine does not like the answers. It's going nutso. Okay, he broke out. He freaked out the machine. So I presume it was a robot running the whole show. This thing, specifically on the wall. Damn! Jesus, Logan! Oh, these poor people floating up in the thing as this is happening. Yikes. They found a way out, though. They found a way out. And he's going back, okay, everyone form an orderly line. You can all touch my face. Just go for it. This isn't an orderly line. I'm being mobbed. Maybe give the guys some breathing room. But now they all have to figure out a way to survive without their technology and their sex clubs. Alright, that was Logan's Run. I still have questions about a fair few things that happened, but I liked quite a bit of it, so let's get into it. Alright, that was Logan's Run, and yeah, there was a lot of stuff there I liked. I have questions. There are a few things I'm a bit miffed on. Maybe people can clear up in the comments, we'll see. You know what, we'll go with what I liked. As expected, aesthetically, there was a lot of really interesting things. As I said at the top of the video, I find sci-fi from the 70s and 60s and stuff kind of fascinating to sort of see design-wise, to see what they come up with and what their vision of the future is. Clearly, in this setting, we're dealing with a society that's built up to be this idyllic, best place to live. How do we control all these people and make them think this rule that we've made up, this sort of borderline religion that we've come up with, stays where we want it to be? Well, we create this place that is completely idyllic and perfect for them, apart from one particular area, which I could have done with a bit more explanation as to what that area was. Like, my assumption is that that's where the stock of kids who aren't good enough might have been sent, maybe, and they become these cubs, as they describe them. Like, I could have done with a little bit more information as to what that whole thing was about, but that's my assumption. But no, it's most of the design is based around building up this world as an ideal place to be, so you sort of just follow the rules, because everything is perfect. Why would you not follow the rules? You get exactly what you want if you go by what we say, essentially. I really like the guns, like the effects on the guns, like the muzzle flash and all that stuff. That looked pretty cool, and there was a lot of good effects work. This movie, I assume, probably did well because of like these new effects that stood out, like the lasers, like the gun effects, all that kind of stuff probably really stood out when this first came out, and it still looks cool now. Like I say, the way the guns work, the look of them looked really interesting, and like it's like a cross between like a laser and a normal like gun from our day. It's just, you know, I appreciate interesting design, and the green sort of muzzle flash was a striking look, so I like that. And then when we get to the outside apocalyptic world, the sort of greenery has taken over everything. Very kind of Last of Us and other such things that have taken that approach to go for the completely overgrown look, which makes sense because, you know, if there's no one there to mess with it, the greenery will just grow and nature will follow that course, essentially. So, I mean, it looked good. I really liked how they sort of, when they got into the city, how they used matte paintings and other such techniques to blend in the actors walking around like a set or a location, and then they blended that in with like to make it look like it was still Washington that they were walking around. I think that worked really well. And I think a lot of it actually still kind of holds up. I mean, obviously you can tell that there's a matte painting there or whatever the case may be, but by and large, I think it's still effective for what they're going for. So I loved all that. I loved the design. I loved the look of it. Even though I think some of the costuming on the female performers in here, I mean, it's interesting because, you know, slightly questionable, but in terms of the story and the world lore, as it were, it kind of makes sense in terms of what's going on there. So essentially, we're dealing with a society of people who don't get older than 30, as they believe it to be, like they get killed off or ascend or whatever. So it's a society built on essentially a bunch of very horny 20-somethings in charge. That's what's going on. Slow-mo sex clubs and everything included, apparently. And the sort of like mindset of looking young and all of that going on. Obviously there's themes going on there. There's sort of the grasping onto youth and what being youthful is, and the overindulgence and all of that. That's clearly running through the movie. Like, it is so horny, this movie, more than I was expecting it to be. But clearly that is a theme, and that goes into the design choices and particularly the costuming. Like, I mean, it's the men as well. The men are dressed in barely anything as well, a lot of them. So it is that thing, like, we're trying to show idyllic looking bodies and youthfulness, and, you know, it plays into all that. And the overall, like, plotting of the story was fine. I liked it. I liked the idea of a guy who is in this circumstance. He's completely in it. Like, there's no doubt that this is the world that he lives in. He accepts it. What would it take to then break that programming in his mind, or that way of believing how things should be? Will he believe the evidence as it's presented to him? That part of the story I had no problem with. Like, I felt like that was truthful. At the start of the film, Logan comes across as this maniac. Like, clearly, again, it's that indulgence thing where not only do they indulge in their sexual needs and probably all sorts of other things, it's also, if they're a sandman, they're clearly chosen to be in that role because of their, like, they enjoy the violence of it. That's clearly why they're put into that role. I mean, it's not explicitly said, but based on that first interaction with the runner at the very beginning of the film, that seems to be the implication. It's like they're people who they could, like, this AI, I'm assuming it's some sort of AI robot thing that was set up to control population, essentially, and it chooses people who are most viable to enjoy that job, essentially, and that's what that comes across to me. So how do you take someone who is there? Like, they are so warped by how this place works and runs that they enjoy hunting down and killing people. How do we get someone at that level to see how wrong this whole thing is? How do we get from that point to that point? And it was a slow burn. It took a long time for Logan to actually figure that out, and that feels right. It wouldn't be an instant switch. He would have to go through a trial of fire, essentially, to actually be like, maybe I was wrong about this whole thing. I mean, obviously, to our eyes, clearly this is a stupid system that is murderous and evil. But from the point of view of someone who is growing up, living in that's what they're told from birth. Apparently their, like, children are removed from them. Like, at the start, it shows that Logan, I don't know how it works. Like, clearly they, like, donate their seed, I presume, because, like, mothers and fathers aren't a thing, or they take their genetics and use them to make more kids. And, like, it starts with Logan sort of seeing a child who is clearly taken from his genetics. And it's interesting that the film doesn't do anything else with that. It just sort of sets that up as a thing that is happening. Doesn't really do anything else with it. I thought that might come into it a little bit more, like that would be a part of Logan's awakening to how this whole thing is done. And I think it is loosely. It's there to sort of seed that maybe Logan cares a little bit more about this child that is technically his child, more so than other people who are Sandman would. Like, I feel like that's kind of what the setup there is. And then that leads to why he breaks out of that cycle and why he wants to change things by the end. Hearts and minds, essentially. The changing of hearts and minds, and that's a big thing about the movie as well. Even though I feel like the very end is a kind of a rushed, like, okay, we're just going to get everybody outside and that will be the end. That's fine. We don't need to worry about how they're going to survive after this point, or any other consequences of implications, or does everybody actually go for this? Because clearly, you know, we saw with Francis, he dies still believing the system. He just thinks Logan is renewed. That's what's happened to him. But, you know, it's a kind of a double meaning thing, that in a sense he has been renewed, but not in the way that Francis thinks he was. I think there were a lot of loose hanging threads by the end of the movie, but the main point being Logan and his awakening to the whole thing was sort of achieved by the end. I would have liked to have seen something to do with how this whole thing started. Like, clearly it's some sort of AI robot thing running the show. I would like to have had more context as to why, how that came about, like how that was set up, who set it up, why, like actual, some sort of confirmation. Obviously, my assumption is that it was population control after whatever catastrophe happened, and then they thought, okay, in order for humanity to survive, this is how it's going to have to be. And clearly that system just run amok and it got carried away with itself, essentially, and now they're just stuck in literal bubbles living out that course. I would have had, like I said previously, I would have liked a little bit more information on how the actual Dome City works, like the Cub in the cathedral area, I think it was called. Maybe a little bit more context to that would have been nice. Like I said, I made another assumption as to what that area was. They also say that once they reach a certain age, they get kicked out of that area. Where do they go after that? Do they get integrated to the normal society? Does every small child go there? Because it doesn't look like that's the case. I have a few questions in regards to where that is. Maybe the book in which this is all based explores that a little bit further. But throughout the film, I couldn't get over this. I'm still thinking about it. I don't know what on earth that hypno teleporting wall panel thing that our leading lady comes out of, what that was. What was that thing? Was it just a thing that Logan's able to beep boop beep boop boop beep boop boop into, and person appears, person for him to have sex with appears, and that's what that thing is designed for, apparently. Maybe it's because he's a Sandman, he gets these high privileges, something along those lines. What is it? That was bugging me for the longest time. This is just how it is. I mean, despite those sort of questions and maybe further contextual things I would have liked to have seen, I did enjoy it. Like I say, I think the style of the movie won me over more than anything, even though obviously there are elements of it that are dated. Like some of the model shots clearly look like model shots. As I say, this is before Star Wars, before Alien even. I think, the Star Trek movies were happening at this point and they had some good model work on them. But I appreciate the effort of trying to make a idyllic looking city in a model look like a city that doesn't exist on Earth and making that work. I appreciate the effort. Looks a bit rickety. Maybe it's something to do with having a restored version of the film and sort of, how that doesn't help. Obviously you could see strings and things with the floating sequences, the zero-G sequences. Maybe you wouldn't have been able to see that on its original release and stuff, especially on an older TV if you're watching it at home. Those are things I try not to hold against a movie when reviewing it, especially if it's an older movie and it has effects that don't quite work by today's standards. But I tried to contextualize it in my head that if you were to watch it when it originally released, especially if you're watching it on an old TV, you probably wouldn't notice that stuff, and the model stuff would probably look a lot more convincing than what it does by today's standards, especially with all the input we get from newer movies and stuff. So I tried to just put that to the side. That's not the movie's fault, it's just how it was done at the time, and frankly, as I say, I appreciate the effort that they did go into to try and achieve the things that they were trying to do. But yeah, that was Logan's Run. Sexually charged, Logan wants to get laid and maybe discover that people shouldn't die at 30 years old by levitation to explosion methods. In a nutshell is this movie, but it was fun for what it was. I enjoyed it. I have questions, but not enough for me to go, well, that sucked. It was a fun movie with some cool effects in there, interesting ideas and themes that it was exploring, and basically respect your elders. Because you will become one at one point, so don't go touching their faces unless they say you can, basically. But yeah, Logan's Run, everybody. Go watch it if you're into your sci-fi. I think it's worth checking out for yourselves. Thank you everyone for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please hit the thumbs up button. It helps me know you enjoyed it. It helps it get seen by more people, and also consider subscribing so you don't miss any future videos on this channel. Other than that, as I say, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you on the next one.